Hey guys, Jake Goslin here with Churchfront. In this video, I'm going to give you my first impressions of the Canon EOS R6. That is a camera that I'm actually filming this talking head video on right now. And we also got the chance to borrow this camera this past weekend when we went to Redding, California to visit the team at Bethel Church and work on some YouTube collaborations. So if you're considering picking up the EOS R6 for your church's worship ministry, or maybe you're a YouTuber wanting to just check out what footage of this camera looks like when it's used in a real life situation, then keep watching this video because we're going to talk about what we love about the camera, what we don't love about the camera, and we're also going to show a bunch of footage that we captured and some photos we captured during our weekend at Bethel Church. So let's just go ahead and dive in. This is not going to be a super technical review. We're not going to talk about tech specs and all the fancy stuff. There's plenty of other great videos out there. We just want to just give you guys our experience of using this camera in the real world. So we do a lot of documentary style YouTube filmmaking. We also like to capture some great photos for our thumbnail videos. We also do a lot of video work for our church. So we're pretty simple people when it comes to our camera demands. And for the longest time, we've been using the Panasonic GH5. We're actually making the transition to Canon's C200 and C300 Mark III that's coming out soon. But hopefully that gives you a little bit of context of the type of team we are, as well as the cameras that we usually work with. The EOS R6 is really compelling because it's full frame, it shoots 4K up to 60 frames a second, and it's Canon. So it's got Canon color science, it's got the amazing autofocus, and I think the R6 autofocus is even more special than the regular dual pixel autofocus, and I can attest it is amazing using this in a real world context. The form factor of the camera body is also so compact, it just feels amazing in the hand. Obviously it works with the RF lenses as well as EF mount lenses with the adapter, so you get to use Canon glass, which also looks amazing. The other huge thing that we love about this camera was the InBody Stabilization. We do so much run and gun video work, and to be able to whip this guy out and start filming, and it just looks so smooth, and I'm going to show you a bunch of footage as I talk about this. It just was really, really impressive when you compare this to a camera that doesn't have IBIS, like it's like so shaky and you just need some sort of stabilization. I'm a GH5 guy. I love the GH5 because it has that in-body stabilization. So now having this on a full frame Canon camera is amazing. And then the photos we were able to take with this camera, awesome as well. Again, I don't really have any better descriptors. I'm not really a super nuanced photography person. I just like to point the camera in the right direction, kind of set my f-stop, how blurry I want the background, and just hit the shutter button, and voila, I got a great image. And that was very simple with this camera. The autofocus when you're taking photos too is really cool. I like how you can just like tap where you want on the screen where it's a focus, and then it also takes a picture at the same time. It's probably a setting you can dial in more, but I just love overall how intuitive this camera is to use and how intuitive the features like autofocus was. So in a lot of the footage that you're seeing in this video, we used either the 24-70 EF lens or we used the RF 24-105 f4 lens. So those two lenses are great walk around lenses, and we obviously found with the 24-70 we had a faster lens, blurrier backgrounds, more bokeh. But both lenses were really great, especially when you're having a full frame camera like this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, f4 even on a full frame camera gives you just plenty of creativity to work with when it comes to depth of field. So there's so much to love about this camera. A lot of it is not very surprising, being a Canon camera with the color, the glass, now in-body stabilization, 4K 60, really, really great. So let's talk about what we don't love about the camera. And honestly, it's kind of one bigger issue, and that is the overheating issue. Now, in a lot of the video work we do, we like doing long form content. So either we're going to be at a church for 4 hours straight capturing a ton of B-roll over a long period of time, or we're sitting down to do some interview YouTube videos or just any sort of talking head YouTube video. So we really need to capture 4K footage for longer than a period of 30 minutes. Sometimes it's multiple hours. And for that type of use scenario, this camera is just not ideal because of the overheating. In order to make sure that apparently the camera sensor doesn't burn up. So what happened is when we got about 25 minutes into an interview, it started flashing red saying, hey, it's overheating, it's getting too hot, it's gonna shut down soon, and eventually it did. So we turned the camera off, and we were kind of surprised how long it would take to recover even at room temperature. Even after waiting 10 minutes, it was still too hot to continue to record. So we actually put the camera in a mini refrigerator, and that actually did the trick. So make sure you have a mini fridge handy if you're trying to do a lot of recording and you want to get the camera's temperature back down quickly. Probably not a good idea to put your camera in a fridge that frequently. So that's why, honestly, for us, a lot of the video work we do is it's run and gun and long form. That's why we're going the C200, C300 route. You never have to worry about overheating. Those are super 35mm sensors. They also have fans built in. Wish they could have done that with this camera, but again, you can't have it all. There's gonna be some trade-offs when you have a camera this tiny with a full frame sensor. So that's it when it comes to giving you our first-hand experience of this camera. There is so much more that could be said about it. Like I said, there's way more in-depth technical reviews out there. I recommend you check those out before you purchase the camera yourself. I hope by seeing the photos and the footage we captured from this camera, it'll just kind of help inform your decision on whether or not it's worth ordering for your situation. My final thought is that if you want a camera that does both photo and video really well, but not long form video, then it's a great option. I don't think this could become the workhorse video camera for churches, especially because in a church environment, we do a lot of long form video production, right? Whether it's capturing a long worship set, whether it's recording your pastor's sermon. For those types of projects, I think you're gonna wanna either go the C200 route, or if you don't have the budget for that, you can explore other makes and models like the Panasonic GH5 or Blackmagic Pocket Cinema cameras. Lots of great options out there. But if you really love Canon color, glass, autofocus, all that stuff, then just go for the C200. So I'm getting more confused the more I talk about this and the different options out there, but hopefully this did help inform your journey on picking out the right camera gear, video camera gear for your church. So I hope you found this video helpful. Hit that thumbs up button if you did, and I'm hoping to get our hands on an R5 in the near future, hopefully a couple days from now, who knows? And then we'll also do a similar type video there where we just give you our honest, real world experience with this amazing piece of technology. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.